Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening and good morning, wherever you may be. This is Brother Manson McCann, your life coach. We're going to get right into this one. Today, we're going to be talking about two things. One is tainted blessings. What do I mean by tainted blessings? How many times do we ask God for things? He give them to us, and then we misuse the blessings by tainting them. Okay? We're not being good stewards over it. That's what I mean by tainting the blessing. The second part would be, can you really handle what you're asking for? Okay? Can you really handle what you're asking for? Now let's get started with the tainted blessings, all right? Now, this is, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. That's right. Tainted blessings happens all the time. Those of us who have begged God for everything, we've asked God, we've prayed for God, we've prayed for things, we've wished for them, or however you want to get your blessings across to God that you want Him to bless you with. All right? And then a lot of times, God hears us. He blesses us with the very thing that we ask for, and then we taint the blessing. Okay? Now, you're saying, well, Brother Manson McCann, hurry up and get to the point because this is YouTube. This is a short amount of attention span to be paid to you, brother. Well, let's get into it. I would like to use, for an example, someone who has asked God, prayed to God to bless them with a house. Okay? Now, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be. This is Brother Manson McCann, and I am your life coach. Today we're going to be talking about two specific things in a real short amount of time. One is entitled Tainting the Blessings. All right? What happens when God blesses us with things that we've prayed for, that we've asked for? He's given them to us, and how do we taint them? Because we don't know what to do with them. And the second part will be, are we really able to handle the blessing that God gives us? Okay? Now let's get down to the first thing, tainting the blessings. Most of the time, before I get started, let me back up now. Before I get started, this is an if the shoe fits, wear it type deal here. That's all I ever deal with is if the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. I do not need people who already understand what I'm talking about to tell me that you're not talking to me because I told you in the beginning, if the shoe fits, wear it. I'm talking to those who actually need this coaching. If you don't need this coaching, I am not talking to you. Now, with that being understood, let's get down into this tainting the blessings. How many times have we asked God and prayed to God to give us things that we needed? I mean, you know, we pray for things like homes and cars and money and stuff like that. Those things are very essential in our life. Why a home is essential? Hell, we need a roof over our head. Why is a car essential? Well, we need to get back and forth to work. Why is money essential? Well, we need to feed ourselves and put clothes on our back. Those things are important. And those are the things that God blesses us with sometimes when we really don't ask Him, but He provides those things for us in the first place. Well, let me get to how do you taint a blessing, all right? Now, let's just use a house, for example. Say you've been living with your mom or one of your friends, or you're just trying to get out of the house that you're in into a bigger one because maybe your family is expanding or something like that. For whatever reason, let's just stay here with that. You've been asking God to bless you with a home. You done got the right area code that you're trying to live in, the zip code, so to speak. You've got the nice size home with 2 or 3 bedrooms in it, 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, bath and a half, finished basement. You've asked God to bless you with that. He has, all right? Now, how do you taint the blessing? Now, once we got that house, this is how you taint the blessing. When you put illegal cable in a home that you ask God to bless you with. When you get the lights and the gas turned on illegally because of something that this is something that you asked God to provide you with. Now, think about this. When God provides you with something, He will also provide you the means to take care of that thing. So if He gives you a home, He knows you need lights and gas. He would rather you go ahead and call DTE Energy or consumers, wherever you may be, and then pay the bill because He will make a way that you may not see. Then what happens? He knows TV, you got to pay for TV, so he knows that you're going to get some kind of cable, AT&T, Dish Network, or something. But what happens? We ask God for the house. God blesses us with the house, and then we taint the blessing. And by putting illegal cable in it, or we putting up the lights and the gas illegally, we cutting them on. Well, you saying, well, Brother Manson McCann, you're a little deep on me now. I mean, I may not be able to afford the lights and gas. Well, I tell you what, it's best, if the blessing came from God, it's best that you put them on the right way. Because look at what happens. God is not going to remove that blessing that he gave you just like that, although he does give and he taketh away. But there will be some suffering in that. Now, let's just say you go ahead and you put the cable on illegal. Let's say you put the lights and gas on illegally. This is what happens. 4 or 5 months down the line, 6, 7 months down the line, a year or so, DTE Energy come knocking on your door. Who is it? It's us. We come to cut this off. Now, you owe DTE Energy about $20,000 in lights and gas, and now you can't pay them. And then one day they say, well, we cutting your stuff off. And then you think, well, I'll just get somebody to cut it back on. And then one day you come home, they 2 houses down the street, across the street, digging up their front lawn over there to cut your gas off. Because you notice they don't cut your gas off right in front of your house. They'll go down the street and cut it from the pipe in the ground. And then you're laying up here with no lights and gas in this blessing that God gave you. Now, let's just look at the Comcast or the Dish Network or the AT&T U-verse. Let's just say you got the illegal stuff on. And then they come up and they catch you. Now what happens? Now you're sitting in this house because you can't watch TV. So that means anybody with your last name to share this residence with you cannot get cable on. So now y'all sitting up in here watching DVDs, bootleg DVDs for a long time. Now, God ain't going to come and get you out of that situation because he never put you in that situation. So all that praying, Lord, please help me pay this DTE Energy bill off, that ain't going to happen. Lord, please help me get some cable in. I'm tired of watching these 4 walls. That ain't going to happen. Now, you say, well, brother, that's kind of harsh, Brother Manson. Why are you coming at us like that? Well, like I said, first of all, if the shoe fits, wear it, because the fact of the matter is these things are happening on a daily. And then we had the nerve enough to blame God when we can't get certain things that we ask for, which moves me to the very next part of this, which is, can you really handle the blessing? Can you really handle what God has for you? How often do we sit up and we ask people to loan us $20 or $30? Some of our friends will give us $20 or $30. Some of our friends know we bad paymasters, so they ain't giving us a dime. Why? Because they have history with us. Now, guess what? Who has a better history with us than God? No one. I got some friends that I know I can't loan no money to because of a history, and there are a few friends that I know now that I might think about loaning them some money. Anybody y'all want to loan me some money? You know, I'm a good paymaster. I will pay you back. And that's besides the point. But moving right along. Now, let's just use the financial situation. We know we in need of money, and we keep asking God, Lord, please bless me with a financial blessing. Lord, please give me some money. I need some money to do this, that, and the third. Now, guess what? God will give you that money. I mean, God wants to have his children blessed, especially if you love him, especially if you're one of his children. Now, all of us that say we love God, I mean, we don't act like it sometimes. Seriously. But here's the deal. Let's just get past it. Let's just say you do have a good relationship with God. He hears all of us, and then the minute you ask him for something, he's ready to give it to us. Why? Because that's what he wants us to do. He wants us to have things, okay? Now, he don't want his children begging seed. He don't want us doing nothing. He wants us loving him so he can have and give us what we need. He wants us to be dependent on him so he can supply our needs. All right, now let's break this down. Can you really handle it? Now, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. Now, here's the deal. You've been asking God for money. Now, let's just look at it this way. Simple question. If you bad with $100, why would you ask God to give you $1,000? I'm going to say that one more time. If you're not good at spending $100, why are you asking God to bless you with $1,000? All right, you don't see it that way? Well, let me show it to you this way. I like to use things in small numbers so we can all understand what it is. I'm not going to put no tax bracket on anything. Let's just say that you're used to living off $100 per month, all right? Just for the sake of this teaching, this coaching right here. Let's just say you're used to living off $100 per month, and you know that that's getting a little tight for you. So therefore, you go to God and you go to asking him, Lord, please help me. Lord, I need more money. Guess what happens? God will bless you with about $200, right? Out of nowhere, you'll look up, your $100 is there, and then you got another $100 over. Now, you got $200 for that month. But guess what we do? We'll turn around and go blow that 100 and then go back to living off that $100 that we normally used to live it off of, okay? Now, God still wants to see how good you're going to be. He'll do it again. 2 or 3 months later, he done gave you another $200. And then guess what we do? We take that 100 that's over, we go blow it on stuff that don't matter, and then we go back to living to that $100 a month thing. And then we constantly keep crying. Now, what are you saying, brother? What I'm saying is this. When God gives you an increase, then that means he wants you to increase your life. He wants you to increase your living. But the reason why he issues it out to you like that is because he wants to know if he can trust you with that amount of money. First of all, he wants to see that if you're going to be a good steward over the money. You know what I mean? He knows that you're not going to do it. He knows all things. But he tests you just to see if you recognizing where he's coming from. When he bless you with that extra 100, then that means you're supposed to be doing things to move you out of that $100 a month bracket. Then that means you're supposed to try to start living your life at about $150 now instead of that 100. Why? Because when God bless you with that 200, he wants you to get better. He wants you to move from that $100 living to about 150, and he will maintain that 150. You'll constantly get that $200 because your living has expanded. Now, once he sees that he can trust you with that 150, next thing you know, he's giving you $300. Next thing you know, you got $500 because every time he bless you with something that's over, you're supposed to live like that's your blessing. As long as you're still loving God now, as long as you're not forgetting where you're getting this money from, as long as you're recognizing who's doing this and not you, then he'll continue to bless you with that. Now, here's the deal. You say, well, Brother Manson, that's kind of harsh, man. I mean, people need to do what they need to do with their money. Are you serious? Man, let me tell you something. There are so many people who be crying broke, but then when you see them, they smell like weed. They drunk as I don't know what. Why I know? I used to do that. I mean, so I'm not down to anybody. I'm telling you what, I'm better than alcohol. I'm better than drugs. I'm no better than you. We're on the same level, but I'm better than drugs and alcohol. So if you think I'm down in you because that's what you're doing, then you're wrong. I'm down in the drug and the alcohol. And then maybe you might see it my way and might be like, you know what, forget this. But there are people who will come to me, that will come to a church, that will ask somebody and say, give me a sob story and say, oh, my kids can't eat tonight. Oh, my life's about to get cut off. But you still smoking good. You still drinking good. You still got everything that you need to do in your vices and your personal life. Everything's still jumping, but then you come to other people and you ask God, the nerve to ask God to bless that stuff and give you an increase when you're not making the sacrifice in order to do that. When God see you sacrificing, when God see you taking money that you really don't have to do something that's conducive in your life, that will help your family, that will help you, that will help the natural cause and what you're supposed to be doing, then God will provide the rest of it. There's no greater help than his. I can't help you as much as God can. I might be able to get you off cracks for a month, but God can get you off cracks for the rest of your life. I just want y'all to understand that. So one, let's do a little quick review, and this is going to be it. Number one, do not taint the blessing. If you ask God for something and he blesses you with something, by all means, take care of it. Do not put illegal cable in your house that God has blessed you with. Do not turn your lights and gas on illegally in something that God has given you. Because if God give it to you, God will make sure that you can maintain that. God will make sure that you can handle the bills. Trust me, I've done it. And I recognize that that was a blessing. I went out on faith and got cable. Other than that, I'd be looking at y'all all day. But I'm able to, as a matter of fact, next month, I'm going to upgrade a little bit because I've been blessed even further. So that's how I did it. Now, here's another thing. When you ask God for something, make sure you're able to handle the blessing that he's giving you, all right? Don't ask God for $1,000 and you can't spend $100. If you bad with spending $100, you might well keep asking for that $100 and hope he don't cut that off, okay? Because he can break you down from $100 to $50 real quick, all right? Now, that brings me to the close, and I just want to let y'all know that I will be doing this for a long time. I'm a life coach, and I'm going to tell you what's real. I'm not going to sugarcoat any of these things. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to hear. Now, if you got anything or any comments or any suggestions or anything you want me to coach on, please feel free to leave something down there in that message box or make a comment or whatever, whether it's positive or negative. I draw positive out of both. So just go ahead and feel free to make a comment. If you like it, you like it. For those of you who know my phone number, you can call me and give me the ear bleeding that you can give me if you want to. But here's the bigger picture. I'm doing this because I love you. And that's it. And you can't do nothing about that. So until the next time we meet here on YouTube, this is Brother Manson McCann, your life coach, tainted blessings, and handling the blessings that God gives you. I'm out of here. Goodbye.